coming in a couple minutes too late. As I promised for most of the week, I have a really cool special guest. I know that we normally do old school here on the BMX Experts channel, but I like to. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit and throw you guys and keep you guys guessing. And today I have a really cool special guest, JP Ross. JP grew up with my son, and he's part of the Wrecking Crew. Are you part of this damn Savage video, or was
I
that part of your time?
I came in a little bit late, but I was a part of it. Yeah.
That video will never see the light of day, man. I've had to hear about that damn video for 12, 13 years now.
I think it
But
got swept
anyways,
under the rug, unfortunately. Yeah. But
JP, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for coming on.
of
And
course, dude. Heck
you're
yeah.
going to be talking to a bunch of old men, probably. Well, I think that you shared it on your platform, so there might be a couple of guys coming on that are a little younger than me. But so you're a local shredder that came out of Temecula area, and I was talking to Morgan about this. Morgan's my son. For those of you that haven't watched the previous episode, but when we moved to Temecula, we had no idea that the motocross and BMX scenes were so strong. And Morgan kind of corrected me. He kind of said, "Well, Dad, it really grew to be strong. It wasn't BMX wasn't really that strong when we moved." Did you come to Temecula around that same time we did, or because you're from New Jersey, right?
Yeah. So I moved from New Jersey in 2010, or maybe
Okay,
late 2009, I want to say. So, um,
so
yeah,
you
when
got
I moved here, what was that?
no, go ahead. I interrupted you, bro. Go ahead.
I was gonna say when I moved here, it was almost like right away. I found a group of guys who rode, and um, I found a secret BMX shop business card at the trails, and that's how I figured out that there was a bike shop near us, and it just kind of went from there. Yeah. So as
Now,
far as I know, it was
had you
pretty
touched a
heavy
bike?
already. So.
Did you touch a bike in New Jersey, or did you touch the bike for the first time when you got to Temecula?
I rode in New Jersey for sure. We just had like little dirt jumps and stuff, so nothing crazy. But I mean, there it's hard to ride for half the year. Half the year there's snow on the ground and it's freezing cold. So um, yeah, I didn't take it as serious until I moved out here for sure. I started to see real bikes, real trails, and all that stuff. So
What was
um,
your what were the early trails that you used to hit when you were out in Temecula or the Temecula area? Do you remember where you used to hit?
yeah, there was off of um, Winchester and Marietta Hot Springs. There were some trails called OGs. Used to go there, and there was also they were called ABCs over by the mall.
Okay,
The first real set of trails I saw was Hill 27. I don't know if you ever heard of those, but
I think I went
um,
to all of these places, dude.
okay, yeah. I guess they're pretty
I think
renowned
so.
Temecula trails. So,
What
um,
were the trails that were over by the hospital in that gully? Do you remember
oh
those?
yeah.
Those were sick jumps, dude. I was like, whoa, dude, I'm not touching these. What were
Gnarly,
those
yeah. I
called?
don't remember what those were called. Morgan would know for sure, but um, what
Have
were
you
those
ever
called?
have you ever did you ever go out to sheep or anything like that, or was that already gone when you came up?
Sheep, I didn't even go till like the last few years. Actually, the first time I went was like 3 years ago or something like that. So,
Okay,
um, that was cool to see after seeing videos of it and everything, and finally getting to go there and ride with everybody. So, um,
when you were in New Jersey, was Scotty Kramer a thing out there, or did he become a thing later on?
he was for sure. Yeah. So he had his parents owned a skate park called the Incline Club. I used to go there on my like scooter and stuff like that. I don't think I ever rode my bike there, but he was definitely like a local legend. Him and Garrett Reynolds and um, yeah, all those New Jersey guys, Sean Ricani and stuff. So
I didn't
um,
realize Garrett Reynolds was from New Jersey too.
yeah,
Huh.
he's right up the road in Tom's River. So he's like 15 minutes from me, which is pretty
So
crazy.
theoretically, you could go to the Incline Club and see Scotty there anytime you wanted. Then
I could, yeah. I don't think I even really like
knew
knew about him too much
or
until I
appreciated
moved
it.
away. Like I moved away and then I was like, oh, okay, there was a whole big scene there. I just had no idea what was going on. So
Do you think that writing for Felt hurt him in his fame wise or his recognition? Do you think that hurt him at all?
I don't think so personally. I mean, I know it was a completely different time and stuff. So I mean, it's always changing. Like brands are cool and then they're not, and then they're cool and then they're not. So I think it was pretty rad. I had his signature frame. I bought it from your shop. So um, I think it was years after he even rode for Felt. He was probably on a different brand, and I bought it from you guys. So
Hyper, I think he rode for Hyper right after Felt.
yeah, yeah. And then I think that was it after that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Then well, he crashed when he was on Hyper, I believe.
yeah, yeah. Hyper Snafu and stuff. So
Dude, whatever
um,
happened to Snafu? Are they still a thing?
I want to say they still make parts. Yeah, I still see them on all like the like X Games dudes bikes and stuff. So I
Wow,
think
dude.
they're
So
still out there.
I have a Hyper story. And not that I know that you probably don't give a shit about Hyper. I mean, Hyper's trash now, but back in the day, dude, did you know that Hyper was started by a kid that was in high school?
I had
Have
no
you heard this
idea.
story?
No, no, I
So
don't think so.
you can pass this on to your boys when you're drinking beers tomorrow tonight. You say like, okay, so Hyper, you've heard of Woodward, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so the guy that started Hyper was a Woodward camper, and he was out
Okay.
there and he was camping at Hyper, and the guy and the counselors at Woodward were asking him, what were you doing? He goes, well, I'm trying to start this bicycle company for my senior project. And he had like a business. He had like a business plan, and I guess his parents were well off, and he started Hyper as a senior, like a for school, like a
Oh wow.
school project, and that's how Hyper started. And I thought that
Wow.
was
Okay.
kind of funny.
Yeah,
But
that's rad.
Hyper's nothing now, but back in the day. So, anyways, bro. So, what? So you came out? Obviously, you came out against your will, right? You want to stay in New Jersey, but they brought you out to California.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That definitely changed after a couple years though. I kind of found my niche out here. So
No,
like
nice, dude.
I always tell people it doesn't even feel like I'm from there anymore. Like I've been here so long and I just feel like a California kid. So um
So I got to admit, dude, I've been kind of Facebook stalking you, and I've been looking at all your videos. And I got to tell you, man, you can throw that bike around pretty good, man. I mean, I'm very impressed. And
heck yeah,
you're
I
and you're
appreciate it, dude.
no problem. You're not a young man, right? I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you're not an 18, you're 16-year-old kid no more, dude. You're like, what are you, 26?
Yeah, 26. So inching
Are
towards 30 for sure.
so how does that feel when you're at the park or you're at the, do you consider yourself a park rider or a street rider or everything?
Um I do ride like more street than anything. I'm definitely down to ride whatever's there, but I think like as the years have gone by, I've just like kind of taken a liking to riding street because you, I don't know, go lurk around and find spots, and it's fun to ride stuff that's not supposed to be ridden. So
Yeah,
I'd
dude.
say I'm more of a street guy than anything. Yeah,
Do you dirt jump with pegs on your bike or do you take them off?
I'll leave them on. Yeah, I'll leave them on. I know it's a little sketchy, but yeah, I'll do it.
Because you have your own signature pegs, right?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I have one right here. This is like a sample. Uh, yeah, you're not gonna be able to see with this lighting, but
That's
signature
bitching,
death
man.
metal peg right there.
That's bitching, and that's for and those are demolition or the volume.
They're demolition pegs for sure. Yeah. So
Nice, nice, dude.
and
All
they're
right. So, anyways, dude, I get off on these tangents, man. I apologize. So
no, you're
you're
good.
out. You find the secret, and you roll in, and you talk to Brian, and Mikey's around at that time too, right? He's throwing it down for. I
Yep.
forgot who he was. I forgot who he riding for. I know he rode for Hoffman, but who did he
Yeah,
ride?
yeah.
Who was he riding for at that time back in 2010? Do you remember?
Oh man, I know he rode for FBM and like Proper and stuff back in the day. That's
Okay.
probably what he was on when I moved here.
So you walk into the secret, which happens to be now the most preeminent BMX shop possibly on the West Coast.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
most definitely. But back in 2010, I remember going in there and he had like one glass case with like two stems, two
yeah.
sets of pegs, one pair of handlebars, and I was like, dude, man. And then I ended up doing the exact same thing that he did later on with one pegs and one pair of handlebars. So when you walked into the secret, what was your what did you score? What did your dad get you?
I think early days I was like really stoked on animal stuff. And I think that's because Brian pushed animal stuff a lot. But like earliest stuff I can remember is like getting like animal white wall tires and um, premium fat seats and stuff like that. I will say I was like
What frame did you have?
back in the day I had like or actually bought my first like real complete from him. It was a Sabrosa complete bike, and
Okay.
then that slowly turned into I think the next thing or the frame I bought after that was the felt sheriff from you like years later. So Um,
Is that the one that's on your Facebook that's broken in half?
that was a kink, like stock kink frame. Yeah, I think.
Okay, all right, man. Yeah, I was like, oh, I'd feel bad if you broke the felt in half, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I pretty much like rode just like hand me down stock frames until I finally convinced my dad. I was like, "Come on, let's go get this felt share frame." I think it was like you had it on sale or something like that. So I was like, "We
I
need to
think
do
I
it."
think I gave it to
Here.
you like for like $50 or $40 or
I was
something,
gonna
dude.
say I thought it was around 50, but I didn't want to say the wrong number.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You want to insult me, but I was pretty desperate back then, man. So so who was the crew that you guys ran with? I mean, you guys are pretty crazy. You know, I always tell, Morgan will like let a story out every once in a while where like wasn't aware of what was going on. You guys, I mean, do you consider yourselves crazy? Because I don't think that you guys were that bad. I think that you guys pretty much, well, there's a couple of guys that got into trouble, right? I won't bring up their names, but for the most part, you guys pretty much were. I mean, you guys vandalized property, but that's about it, right? You guys didn't get any major problems.
No, no, I don't think so. I mean, I remember like first showing up to the skate park, like seeing that you'd see kids smoking cigarettes and stuff, and that was like pretty much the worst was that they did was breaking into the skate park and doing that whole thing. So, um,
Which
yeah,
which
like you said,
leads me, yeah. Go
there's
ahead,
a
go ahead, go ahead.
there's a couple guys out there who kind of were rough around the edges, but for the most part, everybody was pretty straightforward. They just wanted to ride bikes. So,
I still ask Morgan every once in a while, whatever happened to so and so, and he's
yeah,
like, oh,
yeah,
dude, oh, he just got out of prison, man, or he's
yeah,
back in
yeah.
prison.
It's crazy to see how, what paths people have taken. It's pretty wild. Um,
So
Starting out on little kids' bikes, and then people go all over the place. So,
I hear you, man. So when I was talking to Morgan, I wanted him to tell the SEAL Team 6 story. But he said, no, no, I'm going to leave it for JP. So he
okay.
dropped the SEAL Team 6 story in your lap, bro. So if you could please tell the story to my listeners and watchers about about what happened at the skate park one infamous night, and be as descriptive as you can. How old were you guys and stuff like that? Please go ahead.
Okay. Okay. I want to say we were probably all around like 19, 20. Um, and back in the day, or back then, you could hang out at the skate park all night. Nobody would ever kick you out. Nothing. You can't do that now. People, I think a security guard comes at 10. So, um, yeah, back then we would just ride all day, and then that was just like the place where we could kind of go and hang out and stay out of the trouble of the rest of the town. So, um, yeah, we'd go there. We'd sit there and drink beers and stuff, and just hang out and cause a ruckus because there was nobody around. So,
Uh,
um, yeah, one night we were there. There was a lot of people there. I'm not going to name drop everybody, but this kid had a BB gun. It was a BB gun, and I don't think it had the orange tip, which is why this whole thing happened. So, um, yeah, I don't know. We were just being kids, running around, like pointing it everywhere and putting it in each other's mouths and just being stupid. Um, and we seen a car come through and just circle through and then leave the parking lot. And we were like, ah, that's kind of weird because you'd see cars come in and out every once in a while, but um, yeah, they left, and then maybe I'd say like maybe 20, 30 minutes later, I would say it was probably 12 cops, like rushing into the parking lot, lights on and everything. And we just didn't even know. And then I think it all dawned on us, like, oh, we were just pointing a gun around and like being stupid with it. Um, and yeah,
so
they
how did they? It was if it was at night, they must have gotten pretty close to you guys to be able to see a gun, a BB gun in your hand, right? I mean,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there is like lights in the parking lot. They're kind of those like dim orange ones, like street lights, kind of. Yeah, I don't know, man. It might not even have been that car. Maybe they just
okay, all right. So the
somebody
cops
else
show
saw and
up.
called, or yeah,
So the
it
cops
could.
show up, dude. So what happened?
So the cops show up. Obviously, I think whoever had the gun in their hand at the time just like threw it into the bush. Um, and then we were trying to hide the beers that we had and stuff, and there was no shot they were gonna like not find it, you know. So they came out of the car with like guns drawn on us and everything. Everybody just put their hands up, and we were like, "Oh shit, what's happening?" They had us get on the ground, and they went through everybody, asked for IDs, and they asked us why. Oh, what did they say? They were like, "Why do you guys think we're here?" And I don't know who said it, but somebody was like probably because of the gun, and they asked where it
Oh,
was, and yeah, that's where it was, and somebody was like, "It's over there in the bush. It's not a real gun. It's a BB gun." Um, and then they went and found it, and then they started calling parents. I think anybody who was under 18, they were calling parents, and um, me and Tyler were able to get away unscathed. We just said we lived up the block, and then we walked away on our bikes after that. But um, then,
did they take it? Did no one got arrested? Nothing like that. Did they take the gun?
no, they actually let the dude who had it keep it. His mom came down and took him and the gun home. So that got sorted out. Um, but yeah, they were saying like we couldn't, since they did see beers and stuff on the ground. They were like, none of you guys are driving away from here. Like where do you? They're asking everybody where do we live and stuff. And me and Tyler were just like, oh, we live right here. Like we'll just walk home. Me and Tyler walked home. Walked home.
Yeah,
We kind of just like staked out and waited till there was no more cops around, and then we went back and took our cars out of there. But none of
wow.
us were hammered or anything like that. They just
That's
kind of
that's Tyler Hughes from Kink
Tyler Veach.
Beach. Okay, okay,
Yeah, Tyler Veach. Yeah,
okay.
I think we were the only ones who were able to like kind of walk off from there and not have to like call parents or do anything like that. So we got pretty lucky. But
Did I have the guy's name right? Tyler. Who was it?
I think you're
Hughes.
thinking of
Ryan Hughes.
Travis.
Travis.
Travis Hughes.
Travis.
Yeah,
Travis.
yeah, yeah,
Travis.
for sure.
Right. Okay. I remember he was the first. Was he the first guy to get sponsored out of Temecula?
He was the first one I saw, like first like younger kid. Um, he was the first one I saw for sure, and we all looked
So,
up to him back in the day. So
oh, really? Okay. So he's a little bit older than you then.
he's actually a year younger than me, um,
Really?
which is insane. He actually like brought that up at the park one day back in the day. He's like, "Wait, you're older than me?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah." But um,
So, can I drop a couple names on you to see if they're still around or whatever? I mean,
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't want I don't
definitely.
want to name drop anybody, but whatever happened to Brad Moore?
Bradmore still rides here and there. He lives in San Diego. Um,
Okay,
I want to say he rides for premium still,
really? Okay.
but I think he slowed down a little bit for sure. But
And Connor next, is he still ride?
I don't think he does. No, I'd actually Justin Spreet works with him. Um,
Really?
yeah, I forget what they do. Maybe power washing or concrete or something like that. But
I
um,
remember because I don't know, maybe 12 or 13 years ago, I used to ride with the kids at Paba jumps, and Connor used to be down there all the time. And dude, Connor had some skills, dude.
hundred
I mean,
percent, dude. Yeah, yeah, 100%.
jump wise, I never saw him ride street, but I know that he could definitely jump.
Yeah,
And then
yeah, and
and then
he had his whole ramp set about his house and stuff, so he killed it on those. And that's another dude we looked up to back in the day for sure. Watch his videos on repeat. So
yeah. So you're getting you got your first bike from the Secret. You're shredding around Temecula. What were the you've already said the dirt jumps that you went to, but what was like the culture? Did you I mean describe a day in the life of a Temecula BMX rider back then when you were coming up? I mean, you guys did you ditch school with Morgan all the time, or were you one of them that went ditch school to go riding, or were you a better
I was a good
influence?
I was a good kid. I went to school for sure. um, but yeah, like any chance we got, we would pretty much just like usually the skate park was like a good center point for everybody. I know there was guys who lived near Great Oak, which is way on this side of Temecula. I lived over near Chaparral, which is on the other side of Temecula. So uh, skate park was a good meeting ground, and then we'd either ride there or we'd go ride street. And I was just talking about this the other day. I think we saw more of Temecula than people who've lived there for, I don't know, 15, 20 years, because just we're riding through every crack and crevice that that city has, trying to find little spots to ride and stuff. So um, that
Beside
was
the skate park, where else in Temecula did they give you a hard time?
everywhere.
Everywhere?
I
What
lo-
was the worst? Was it like
uh,
down by Geesy's medical building? They gave you guys a hard time, right?
yeah, yeah, we'd always get kicked out of there. Pretty much any school you'd go into. I don't think it's as crazy now, but back then, if you were to like ride schools, you get kicked out all day.
Dude,
Um,
I was riding Great Oak with Morgan and Connor next, and who else was it? Ryland
okay.
and who's Andre. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
we go down
Marvin. Yep.
we go down to Great Oak, and I'd be doing my tire tap 360s, and
Heck yeah.
that was the one trick I brought back from my BMX days when I was a young kid. I could do my tire tap 360, and I used to think I was a shit. And we used to go up to the Lake Elsinore, the black Lake Elsinore jumps, or the I don't think it's
Oh
there
yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
Remember,
McVicker,
McVicker? Yeah,
McVicker
and then
Park. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and
Um,
I was feebling, I was doing some cool stuff. I was bunny hopping over a couple trash cans, and then Todd showed up, and I'm like, okay, okay, all right, man.
and Todd's still out there killing it too, dude.
Just when I thought I was the coolest father out of the bunch, Todd shows up. I'm all, oh man,
Probably
okay,
had a tie dye shirt on too.
yeah, yeah. I'll take second coolest. So, was there a certain breakthrough trick? I mean, is there one trick um that sets you on the path to success, or is there one hurdle that you have to? Is it the bar spin? Is it a what? I mean, I always thought like, okay, it's probably be a bar spin. If you could bar spin, you're getting better and you've crossed the line. Is there a
Yeah,
certain
yeah.
trick that you would you agree with that, or is there another trick that you would think?
I think that's a lot of like kids coming up. That's their go-to for sure. Is like a bar spins, 360s and stuff. Um, I think when I grinded my first down rail, that's when like actually fell in love with everything, and I was like, oh man, like this is awesome. Like you'd see people grinding rails in the videos and stuff, and then once you're on one, you're like, holy shit, I'm doing this right now. Like that was kind of what made me realize like that I love BMX.
Dude, I could relate to everything that you guys did. I can relate to the jumping. I can relate to the cops coming to the skate park. I can
Yeah.
relate to everything except for grinding rails. I don't get it. I don't see the pleasure in it. I'll never see the pleasure in it. But everything else, park, ramps, dirt, I get it. But I don't see what the pleasure in grinding a rail is. I mean, if you crash, I mean, the benefit of danger benefit doesn't equal out for me. But you enjoy grinding because I saw some of those rails you were grinding, and maybe I don't like grinding because it's harder. Do you think grinding? I mean, that's probably one of the hardest facets of street riding, right?
Yeah, and it's a big like mental battle more than anything. Like even to this day, like I'll go up to a handrail and it's gonna take me like 10 run-ups to finally like actually go, you know? So that was always hard for me is just like getting myself to do it. Bar spins and stuff, like you can kind of like half-ass try it, you know? A handrail, you
Yeah.
can't half-ass try it. You just gotta like, because if you half-ass try it, you're hitting your you know what's on the rail. So
And I
um,
don't even know what these tricks are called these days, man. Like I'll be watching with Morgan or something, and they'll go, that's a 360 bar spin half cab a nollie." I go, "What the hell are you talking about, dude?" Like
sounds like a different language.
yeah, the terminology that you guys, even from when I owned the bike shop, where even till now things have changed so dramatically. I mean, do you see the little kids coming up? Do you see these kids? Is there a fresh crop of young, um, crazy ass riders in the area? Well, you don't live in Temecula anymore, but do you see just in general the new crop of kids coming up? Are they getting better and better and better than you, or or
100%, yeah.
it's
100%.
inevitable, right? Like they always get better.
Yeah, yeah, and I think, I'm not gonna blame it fully on this, but I think when the like, social media, you see so much now that, like, kids, like, think that's normal. Like, kids will see the super tech, like, crazy tricks and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, that's just, like, what you do," you know? And that's what they do, so
So
it's
you're
pretty
more of
crazy for sure.
are you more of a tech guy or like technical, or you like big bomb and like? Well, you're more of a technical guy, right? Because
A
I was
little bit of both for sure. Um, a lot of the newer school tricks, like, I just could never wrap my head around, so that's why I've, like, gravitated towards just, like, doing the rail, you know? Um, but I try to toss a little bit of the newer stuff in there, what's trendy. Um,
dude. I mean, I was good. I was fast. I was good. I've ridden a bike my whole life. But when I took Morgan to the skate park in Monrovia, and he gets up there, it was probably. I mean, he wasn't like this was. He was probably 15, and he gets up on this 15-foot ledge, dude. and truck drives off the stem ledge. And I was like, dude, I'm taking this kid to the hospital, man. I know he's not going to make it. And he made it. And I was like, oh my God. That right there, I knew. I go, dude, I can't. There's no way that I even considered doing that even when I was 16 in my prime. So I can only imagine how it is now. The kids that what the
Yeah,
tricks they're pulling off.
definitely, dude. Yeah, and I think, yeah, like it's like I said, like I don't know, Morgan doing that truck and stuff. He probably saw somebody do something similar to that, and he was just like, "Oh, I'm doing that." And then now kids see some crazy trick that involves a million tricks, and they're like, "I'm doing that." So yeah, it's crazy
Did you
how it works.
did you just get hurt?
I did in February. Um,
What happened? Do you mind if I ask you what happened?
yeah, I was at Swamp Fest. If you ever heard of Swamp Fest?
No. What's
So it's
that?
this big jam in Florida. It's like you camp there like for 2 nights, and they just build like crazy stuff out of like pallets. They have dirt jumps, like rails going across water, and like just a bunch of crazy stuff. Um, and one of the obstacles, it was like a ramp with a rail, and you had to like gap up to the rail and then up to this flat part on top. And I just tried to do a up rail to tail whip, and the tail whip stopped halfway around, and I just like smacked my face on the ground pretty much, hit my like sternum and everything. So
You did a Scotty
um,
Kramer.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was one of those where I like didn't even realize what happened until after the fact. I was like, Jesus, man, like it's on film too. If you ever want to go watch that, so
Oh, right. I got to maybe I'll find it and share it with the guys on Facebook.
yeah, I could send it to you after this for sure.
Here
It's a funny one.
here Can I okay, so was this when you were on volume?
Yeah, yeah. So this was I've been on volume for like a little over 4 years now, I think. But yeah, this was like back in February, so only a few months ago. Yeah.
So that kind of goes into like my next thing because every BMXer, be it race, street, park, wants to get sponsored. They want to ride for a company, right? Every
Yeah. Yeah.
day one, day one, you throw your anybody with any salt. Day one, you throw your leg over bike. I want to get sponsored, and
Yep.
I know how we got sponsored back in the day. We won races. We went to races every week, 3 times a week. People
Yep.
saw us. Bike shops saw us. They recruited from the different tracks. How does a BMX company now recruit and find riders to ride for them? Because you guys aren't going out doing contests every week or 3 times a week, right? How does Volume or Colt or whatever find riders to and recruit them to get on their teams these days?
A lot of it now, I think it's a lot of word of mouth for sure. It's also who you know. Um, I think something that helped us, like me, Tyler, and Hilario, riding for the secret first, and then having him to be able to like kind of put that word in for us, you know. And I think another thing is like videos have been a big part of that. So if like you film a video edit or an edit and put it out online, and it gets on the BMX websites, and brands do see that, and then I think that combo of like having word of mouth, knowing people, and having videos and content out there, um, I think that is the kind of recipe in a way, I guess.
But the
Definitely
videos
different
aren't.
than it was.
But I mean, I would think that there's 10,000 kids out there that could do the same tricks. It's all about the way you carry yourself. If you can sell
Yep.
the product, if you're a good ambassador for the product. I mean,
Totally.
and
Totally.
that's still the same, right?
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Like you could be,
But
I don't
also
know, better than half the
there's some.
pros, but sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ben.
I was gonna say, there's kids. I mean, I'm sure that are better than half the pros that are out there, but they're just not a good person, or yeah, something like that. That's not gonna make a company want to deal with you at all. So yeah, yeah, for sure.
Outlaw image, like both always had an outlaw image.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So did you agree with that, or
I think it's
is
a
it
little
all
bit of
outlaw?
both. Yeah, like you said. I mean, there's brands out there like um, some of the brands who support a lot of the park riders are like those dudes are real deal athletes. And then a brand like Colt like kind of has that more like street culture to it. So we're not out there like I don't know, like working out every day and all that kind of stuff. I mean, a lot of dudes are now for sure, but um, yeah, a little different than
So who
back in the day. I think you're breaking up a little bit.
have you been in the have you been in the magazines yet?
No, never. I have a couple buddies who got some pages in like recent magazines, but yeah, no, I've never had the pleasure of that for sure. So maybe one day.
Me, me neither, man. You're
Yeah, yeah, I'm getting old, dude. I'm getting closer to 30 every day. So
you got a pretty big internet. You got an Instagram following. Autographs, or that would always like I always feel like, oh damn, I'm signing my first autograph today. Have you ever signed an autograph?
I've done a couple. Yeah. We had a.
That's bitching, dude.
Let's see if I've got it over here. We did a poster for Volume. We'd give them out at the shop and stuff. So I had a couple people want an autograph on it, but let's see if I can that one there.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. So that almost feels
The
like a
picture
magazine
that
to
you,
me,
the
you
picture,
know? Mhm.
yeah, yeah, you're really the picture that you sent me when you're bar spinning in front of the medical center. You came off that round. There wasn't no jump that was out of picture, right? You were riding on that wall, and then you bunny hopped off and bar spinned in the air and
Yeah,
came
yeah,
down, right?
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, I like that's
Um,
my.
heck yeah. Yeah. That's shot by Brian Willison, if you remember Brian Willison.
And he teases Brian Wilson every
Oh
time
yeah,
he
yeah,
you
yeah.
almost
I
have the
did see
perfect
that.
name,
Yeah.
just one letter off. Was riding the team to take they take everybody out on the road. They would pay for entry fees, but you know what's life like for a factory team like Volume? Is it even called a factory team now, or for Volume?
Yeah. I
Do
guess
you guys
there is
have
like a
teams?
team. I always say that I just ride for the company, and I mean I work here now too, so um, kind of put my all into everything.
These different bike shop teams, and like
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's been quite a few for sure. I think like the part that was craziest to me is that like I didn't have to pay for bike parts anymore, and like that whole deal was just like wild. Like the first day I ever built like a complete new bike that I didn't pay for, that's when it kind of felt real. Um, I'm not the most like materialistic person, but like that just felt crazy to me. And then getting to go on like trips and stuff that are all paid for by Volume and Demolition, it's wild. You get to get in a van with all the guys and go out and film and just cause a ruckus. Um, it's awesome. Yeah.
did you have chaperones, or are you the chaperone now?
So when we were doing volume trips a lot, like a couple years ago, it slowed down a little bit. But we had like a team manager that would come with us and he would drive us around.
Okay,
Um, I'm sure he
okay.
probably hated us at the time. He's a good guy. His name is Kurt, but um, he, anytime we'd go get food or anything like that, there's like 9 different dudes in the back of the van screaming different places they want to go eat and what places they want to ride at. So he had his hands full for sure, but um, good memories for sure. No, no, luckily no. We got pulled over once because just the van looks real sketchy at night, like, and then the cop gets to the window and sees a bunch of dudes in some white van. Probably looks a little weird, but yeah, no arrests at all. So
around the or the deal. Oh, you don't have your own frame, but you have your own.
Yeah, yeah, and actually we have a new one coming. I can give you a sneak peek. It doesn't have any of the decals on it.
Yeah, let me check it out.
We don't have any of the decals on this one right now, but it's just a raw, completely polished raw frame. So you could see all the weld marks and everything. And I've never really ridden a frame that's this color, so yeah, I'm super stoked on that one. That would be cool.
It's, yeah, dude. So what? Do they still have like the? I wish I could remember the terminology of all the frame terminology of all the different bits and pieces of the. I like the.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of brands still do like stuff like that. Like
But
I don't have one here, but brands are doing like investment cast dropouts and just all kinds of stuff on frames now. That yeah.
see, now you're talking. Yeah.
Yep,
Removable
yep.
brake
Like
bridge.
that's what my frame
All
has.
these different things.
Mine pretty cool too, actually. Volume's really the only brand that does this, but it's like an hourglass shaped head tube. So it's still
Integrated.
integrated, yeah, but it's just got a crazy little shape to it as opposed to your normal integrated where it's actually you can see there's cups that kind of poke out.
Yeah.
I've always liked that about
Yeah.
volume, maybe the hourglass on there.
So what's the story on volume? I'm not even. Where did volume come from? I mean, are you allowed to talk about where they?
Yeah, yeah.
What's the origin of volume, or where they come from?
So
How they sprout up? I don't remember.
so volume was
Go ahead. I'm
started
sorry.
by Brian Castillo in 1999. Brian used to ride for like S&M and Primo and stuff like that. And the current owner of Volume used to work at Primo. So they kind of came together and created Volume, and then also Demolition came a year after. So, yeah, I was.
Well, I think I rode demolition cranks on my Scotty Kramer frame.
Okay, heck yeah, yeah.
That I had.
Um,
Yeah, and I had demolition wheels, I believe.
yeah, yeah. Heck yeah.
Great brand. Great, not it's definitely not Rant, right?
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah, I've always looked like my first aftermarket seat on my bike was I think a Demolition fat seat. So, yeah, pretty cool.
Still the same pivotals are still popular. Or
Pivotals
now
for
they've
sure.
won.
Yeah. I think we're gonna do some. I can't say it yet, but we're gonna. I think we're gonna come back with some older school stuff.
Are the rail seats done? Like no, I mean they're
There's
done, right? They're never to come back.
there's some brands doing them. Yeah, there's some brands doing them for sure. I think a lot of the trail guys like to have railed seats just because of that old school style. Yeah, they're coming back.
Did you ever see the video with Matt Hoffman when he in like 1997 when he broke his railed seat and it went up through the rail went up through his seat and punctured his ball sack? Have
Oh,
you
I was
ever
gonna
seen
say,
it?
yeah, they puncture his ass or something like that. I thought I heard a
Uh,
story about that.
Yeah,
But
it punctured his balls, dude. He had to go to and he went to the hospital. I think he sewed his own ball sack together
oh man,
with a needle and thread, and he went back and he won the competition or something.
I'm gonna say that sounds
Great.
like something Matt Hoffman would do. So,
Well, that's cool, man. So, where do you think what's going forward? What's in the future for GP Ross? You gonna keep riding? You don't know what you are you gonna become? Are you gonna be a Brian Foster and ride till you're in your 50s, or are you gonna are you gonna turn it off eventually, or what's in the future with volume, with demolition, with JP? What are you thinking?
yeah, I mean, I definitely want to ride until my body doesn't let me anymore. There's pros out there now who still ride that are like 36 years old. So if I can last
Does
that long, I still got 10 years left in me, which is pretty good sign. But
does Corey
um,
Nastasio still ride?
I think he slowed down a bit, but he still does for sure. He had a signature frame come out like a year ago with
Who
Fit.
does he ride for? Haro?
Fit.
Fit.
Bit Bikeco, yeah. He had his frame is called the Metal Eagle. It's like a super trail style frame. Um, yeah, I think it was
I
around a
was
year ago that came out now.
I was interviewing a gentleman that used to race for um, Huffy, and I guess Nastasio was on Huffy. Do I got this
Oh
right?
yeah, he was back in the day for sure.
Yeah, and he
Um,
said that Huffy gave them American Express cards with no limit,
oh no
and
way. Okay,
Nastasio got a hold of his, and he went.
went berserk probably, huh?
I was like, I made a joke about it. I go, well, if he was in Vegas, he probably ended up like at the Wild Horse or what's it with the strip club in Vegas,
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Showgirls or whatever. But I remember when he had the TV show, and the kids loved Corey Nastasio, dude. Do you remember that? He was on that TV show with, I think it was like him, Catfit. No, him and a bunch of. He lived in Temecula for a while, right?
Yeah, what was it? I think it was called The X Life.
Yes, that's
It
it.
was on like VH1 or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
yeah. It was a great show, man. I love that show. And then he
yeah.
moved
Full.
to Temecula, and I was always like, where the hell is he at, man? I'm trying to find him.
Yep,
But
yep.
yeah, he was crazy, man. Did Morgan ever tell you the story about when we saw Matt Hoffman at Interbike that one time?
Maybe it sounds familiar. It sounds like something that Morgan told me. Yeah. Um,
We were looking at some of the bikes, like their first year at Interbike, and I go, holy shit, dude! Look, there's Matt. This okay. I never knew anybody famous in BMX at all. None. Zero. Nobody. And we were just standing there, and Matt Hoffman's like right across. I go, "Hey, Matt, can my kids get a picture?" He's like, "Sure." So he has Morgan and Jordan both have pictures with Matt Hoffman, and
wow. Okay,
I thought that was funny. Dude,
that's
did you
awesome.
talk about Matt Hoffman? Did you ever think that he got a is does Hoffman the brand Hoffman does that carry a lot of weight these days, or is it kind of like a secondary brand? I never understood that.
They still make stuff for sure. Like Morgan Wade still rides for Hoffman, and Seth Kimbrough used to ride for Hoffman. I don't know if he still does or not, but um, yeah, they still make stuff for
Seth
sure.
Kimbrough,
So
that's old school, dude. Oh man.
he was one of my favorites, dude, with the dreads back in the day. um,
Yeah,
but yeah. I mean, I think they still make like complete bikes and stuff like that. So I think they're a little more underground than they used to be, but they're still
but yeah,
around.
now it's all cult fit. What volume? What else is
Yep.
Har-
Uh,
even
Fiend,
Haro kind of fell off, right?
they're back. Yeah, they got like Dennis Henderson rides for Haro. There's a couple other guys, so they're at the top of the game for sure.
Does Chad
Um,
Curley still ride for Haro?
yeah, he does. Yep. Um, I would say other brands that are pretty popular are like Fiend. I know Morgan
Very.
loved Fiend back in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
They're still real popular, and like We the People still pretty popular.
Really?
Um, yeah, there's a bunch of brands out there for sure. So
What about Stolen? No one rides Stolen, right?
that's a name I haven't heard in a while. No.
I interviewed the owner of Stolen.
Yeah, I did. I watched that one for sure. Yeah. Um,
I was
what was
like,
their distro
I,
called back in
dude,
the
I
day?
sold a lot of Stolens from the shop, dude, and I like Stolen, but I realized that I was never gonna be a fit or a cult dealer, so I went with DK and Stolen. But dude, I sold
Oh,
a
okay.
gang of DKs and I sold a lot of Stolens, man.
Stones.
And I had no problem with the brand. Of course, I was an old man. I didn't care as long as I could sell the bike. That's all I really wanted. But
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, you guys wanted nothing to do with that. It was always Fiend, Colt, and Fit.
Yep. Anything you saw online, that was what we went for. I did like
Our
the Stolen like image back in the day though. They did like the casino, I think.
Yeah,
Stolen Casino. That I really liked that bike.
that was their entry level, like their 299 299
Yeah, okay.
bike that you come in.
Mhm. And I know they had a
What
pretty rad team at one point. Couple guys rode for them that I would always watch on YouTube and stuff like that. So um,
what about
yeah.
DK? Did you ever like DK or no?
I'd never really looked into him too much, but I know Brian Kaczynski used to ride for DK. So I
Dude,
liked Brian Kaczynski growing up, and
dude,
he
he's
rode for
he's a
DK.
he's a judge at the Olympics.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Dude,
Yeah.
I was watching Olympics and it says Judge Brian Kaczynski. I'm all, holy shit.
Came up, yeah.
Is are there any other names like that that I'm missing that are judges or just like Brian?
That's the only one I could think of. I know I want to say Van Homan used to do some stuff. I don't know if it was for the Olympics or not, but maybe like the feast contest. Van Homan was a judge. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm not too informed on that stuff. Those are the only two names I know that are judges. I think so.
Yeah, if it's not in Southern California, dude, you're concentrating.
Yeah,
Nice, dude. Well, I'll tell you what, man. You know, I appreciate you coming on and talking BMX with me, man. Um, you know, I what I would like to do is I'd like to do like what do you call it? Like product review. I mean, well, are you open to come back on and talk BMX again? Let's just say that.
absolutely, dude. Yeah, 100%.
I'd
Um,
love to get a new school guy's opinion on old school stuff, and maybe we could talk about it and say I'd never ride that shit. How could you ride that stuff?
yeah,
Or you know, just to get some friendly banter between the generations. Um, with I was talking to Morgan, and I asked him. I go, dude, Morgan, did you run a? You always ran a free coaster, right? And he goes, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I go, oh, I thought you had a freewheel at one point. And he goes, a freewheel? What the hell's a freewheel? I go, a freewheel, dude. The with the and he goes, we called them cassettes, Dad. You don't remember? I
yep.
go, oh, that's right. So I mean, I mean, even though I owned a bike shop, you know, and I rode back in the '80s and in the '80s, I'm still outdated on it, and I totally, you know, I make mistakes all the time. I think it'd be funny. You know what? Maybe we could get like you, Morgan, and some of the other guys on. We'll do like a round table, dude. We'll kick stories around. Dude, what do you think about that?
That sounds good to me, dude. That sounds good to me. Maybe you guys can teach me a thing or two about the old school too, because I'm interested. So
Morgan mentioned that you like mid school. Is that true?
yeah, yeah, that's like probably what I'm like most influenced by. I would say. Um,
Okay, so let's talk mid school, dude. Who's your mid school influence?
there's too many, dude. Like I said, Van Homan, Brian Kaczynski,
That's not
Seth
mid school.
Kimbrough.
That's new school, dude.
That's mid school, dude. That's mid
No,
school.
no, no,
That's
no,
it.
no, no.
Like 2004 to 2010, I would say, is like my favorite years.
Okay, okay, all
Um,
right.
or
I thought
maybe
you were
even
gonna say
earlier. I'd say like 2002, maybe.
okay. So what was your what did you like from that time frame? When you look back on it and it influenced you, what did you like about it? What was cool about it? Why do you like that time frame?
I just like that it's like super, just raw, like BMX, and they're just like, I don't know. It didn't matter how clean you landed something or like stuff like that. They're just like doing tricks, doing the handrail. And I really like that. That's not to say I don't like when people do like, I don't know, tons of different grinds on handrails and 180 out and stuff. But I don't know. I just like the straightforward BMX, and um, I don't know if it's the videos with the music and that old school look with the standard definition cameras and stuff. But
Okay, all right.
I don't know why it's got a hold on me for sure. I like to watch it all. So
Who's the guy that's so Dennis Dennis? He's my age. Who's the guy that's still right? Dennis. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Dennis McCoy.
McCoy. I thought
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's who I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say, dude, yeah, because I'm a big Dennis McCoy fan or something like that,
Oh, okay, okay.
Or Vic Murphy or something.
Yeah, I like I like Vic Murphy for sure. That table photo is ingrained in my
Dude,
brain.
that is.
So.
There's two photos in the history of mid school BMX. That's the Mick. Sorry, that pancake, and then there's the um, Hoffman going off the top, 30 foot off the
Yeah,
ramp.
yeah, dude, for sure. I think
Anyways,
Hoffman makes a shirt with that on there, and I was gonna buy that. So.
nice, dude. All right, man. I'm gonna let you go, dude. I appreciate it, and thank you so much. And I want to thank everybody for coming by and listen to us babble about new school. This is what your kids are doing now. If you're buying your kid a BMX bike tomorrow, they're going to be destroying property, vandalizing, trespassing, and hopefully they won't have a BB gun with them, so they don't get in trouble. And I thank everybody for coming by and listening to us. Thank you very much. If you want to subscribe, you can. If not, I can't make you do it. But thank you so much, JP. You're a man among men, and I appreciate you coming on. And keep up the good work, and keep that bike upright for me, Chief. Okay.
Will do, man. Will do. Thanks for having me, dude.
All right, no problem. Thank you,
All right.
everybody. Thank you very much.
Adios.
Thank you. Stay tuned. I got another guest coming through, John Salami. Stay tuned, and I will be right back with John Salami talking about the BMX Hall of Fame and BMX in New Jersey. Here we go. Thanks, everybody. Peace out.